If you've recently received a letter from the Social Security Administration, please do not set it aside. That letter could contain news that directly affects the monthly income you depend on, and millions of seniors miss it every single year. Here's something most people don't realize. The SSA sends notices about overpayments, benefit reductions, Medicare premium changes, and eligibility reviews. And if you don't respond in time, your payments can be reduced or even stopped without any further warning. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through exactly what that letter means, what the most common red flags look like, and the specific steps you need to take to protect your benefits right now. This is straightforward, practical information. No jargon, no confusion. Here at Senior Money USA, we are committed to making sure you never lose a single dollar you've rightfully earned. You worked hard for these benefits, and you deserve to keep every cent of them. If this sounds like something you or a loved one needs to hear, go ahead and hit that like button right now. It only takes a second, and it helps us reach more seniors who need this information just as much as you do. Let's get started. So, let's talk about what's actually happening when that letter arrives in your mailbox. Because I know it can feel alarming. You see that blue and white envelope with the Social Security Administration's name printed on it, and your stomach drops a little. Maybe you've been getting those letters for years, and you've learned to just open them, skim them, and put them in a drawer. Or maybe this is the first time you've ever gotten one, and you genuinely don't know what it means. Either way, I want you to know you are not alone in this, and together we are going to make sense of it. The first thing I want you to understand is that not every letter from Social Security is bad news. I know the title of this video might have made your heart beat a little faster, and I'm sorry about that, but I needed you to watch because the truth is too many seniors ignore these letters or don't fully understand them. And that's when the real problems start. Some letters are just routine notices. They might be telling you about a cost of living adjustment coming in January, or confirming your Medicare enrollment, or letting you know your benefit amount for the upcoming year. Those kinds of letters you can breathe easy. But others, and this is what we're really here to talk about today, others are telling you something that requires your attention, your response, and sometimes your action within a very specific window of time. Let's start with one of the most common letters seniors receive and one of the most misunderstood, the overpayment notice. Now, I've heard from so many people in our community who received one of these and felt completely blindsided. They thought, I didn't do anything wrong. Why is Social Security telling me I owe them money? And here's what you need to know. An overpayment doesn't necessarily mean you did something wrong. It might mean that Social Security made a mistake in calculating your benefit. It might mean your income or living situation changed and was reported late. It might even be the result of an administrative error on their end, not yours. But here's the hard part. When Social Security says you were overpaid, they want that money back. And if you don't respond, they will start collecting it, usually by reducing your monthly check, sometimes significantly. I've seen people have their monthly benefit reduced by hundreds of dollars without fully understanding why, simply because they didn't respond to that letter in time or didn't know they had the right to appeal. You absolutely have the right to appeal an overpayment decision. You have 60 days from the date on that letter to request a review. And during that time, they cannot reduce your benefit. That's powerful information, and I want you to hold on to it. Now, let's talk about another kind of letter that comes up quite often, and that's the letter about your earnings record. Here's something a lot of people don't realize. Social Security bases your benefit on your highest 35 years of earnings. If there are years missing from your record, or if your wages were reported incorrectly by an employer, your benefit could be lower than it should be. Social Security will sometimes send you a notice asking you to verify your earnings history, or you might get a letter following a review that shows discrepancies. If you receive anything like this, please do not ignore it. Get a copy of your Social Security statement. You can request one by creating a My Social Security account online, or by calling them directly if computers aren't your thing, and go through it carefully. Look at every year you worked. If something doesn't look right, report it. I know that sounds like a lot of work, but we are talking about your money you earned, and it is absolutely worth the effort to make sure your record is accurate. Another letter that causes a great deal of confusion and honestly a great deal of anxiety is the letter related to Medicare premium adjustments. If your income has been above a certain threshold, you may be subject to what's called IRMA, the Income-Related Monthly Adjustment Amount. That's a fancy way of saying that higher-income seniors pay more for their Medicare Part B and Part D premiums. Social Security typically uses your tax return from 2 years ago to determine this. So, if your income has dropped significantly since then, maybe you retired, maybe you had medical expenses, maybe your spouse passed away and your income changed, you can actually request a review and ask them to use more recent income information. This is something so many people simply don't know they can do, and it could mean real savings every single month. If you received a letter informing you that your Medicare premiums are going up and your financial situation has genuinely changed since the tax year they're referencing, please do not just accept that number without questioning it. Fill out Form SSA 44. It's a life-changing event form, and it exists precisely for situations like yours. I also want to spend a few minutes talking about continuing disability reviews. Because if you're receiving Social Security disability insurance, what most people call SSDI, you may receive a letter informing you that your case is being reviewed to confirm you still qualify. Now, I know that can feel threatening. I've spoken with people who feel like Social Security is trying to take something away from them, and that fear is completely understandable. But here's the reality. These reviews are required by law, and they don't automatically mean you're going to lose your benefits. The key is to respond on time, and to provide whatever documentation they ask for. If you need help pulling together your medical records, reach out to your doctor's office early. Don't wait until the last minute. And if you believe the review process was handled unfairly, or if you receive a letter saying your disability benefits are being terminated, you have the right to appeal. You can request a reconsideration and then a hearing before an administrative law judge if needed. The appeals process exists to protect you, and it works, but only if you use it. Now, I want to take a moment here to talk about something a little different, something emotional, because I think it matters. Many seniors tell me that when they get these letters, their first instinct is to feel ashamed or to feel like they've done something wrong or to feel embarrassed asking for help. And I want to address that directly from the heart. You have nothing to be ashamed of. You worked for decades. You paid into this system. You raised families, built communities, contributed in ways that are impossible to measure. Social Security is not a handout. It is a benefit you earned fair and square. And the fact that the system is sometimes confusing, sometimes bureaucratic, sometimes overwhelming, that is not a reflection of your intelligence or your worth. It is just the reality of dealing with a large government agency. Please do not let embarrassment or pride keep you from asking questions, from calling Social Security, from seeking help from a benefits counselor, or from reaching out to your local area agency on aging. These resources exist for you. Use them. Let's also talk about what to do the moment you receive one of these letters. The practical step-by-step reality of it, because I think that's what a lot of you really came here for. The very first thing you should do before anything else is read the letter all the way through. I know that sounds obvious, but you'd be amazed how many people read the first sentence, feel scared, and put it in a pile. Read every word, then read it again. Look for 3 key things. The date on the letter, because that starts the clock on any deadlines you may have. The specific reason the letter was sent, because that tells you what kind of response is needed. And any phone number or address they provided, because that's how you follow up. Keep the letter in a safe place, not a junk drawer, not under a pile of mail, a dedicated folder where you keep all your Social Security and Medicare documents. If you don't have a folder like that yet, today is a great day to start one. The second thing you should do is write down the date you received the letter. This matters more than you might think. Social Security gives you specific windows to respond, and those windows are counted from the date on the letter, not the date you received it. Sometimes letters sit in the mail for several days. So, if the letter is dated the 1st of the month and you received it on the 10th, you've already used up 9 days of your response window. Write it down. Keep track. Third, and I can't stress this enough, if you don't understand the letter, ask for help immediately. Don't wait. Don't assume you'll figure it out later. Call Social Security directly at 1-800-772-1213. Yes, the hold times can be long. Yes, it can be frustrating. But the people on the other end of that line are there to explain things to you. And you have every right to call as many times as you need until you fully understand what's being asked of you. You can also visit your local Social Security office in person if that feels more comfortable. There are also benefits counselors available through organizations like the National Council on Aging and SHIP, the State Health Insurance Assistance Program, who can help you navigate Medicare and Social Security issues for free. Now, I want to be honest with you about something. Dealing with Social Security can sometimes feel like you're being asked to navigate a maze in the dark. The letters are often written in bureaucratic language that can be hard to parse. The deadlines are real and the stakes are high. And I know that for many of you, this isn't just an inconvenience. It's your livelihood. It's your rent. It's your groceries. That's why I make these videos. That's why this channel exists, because every single one of you deserves to understand the system that's supposed to be serving you. You deserve clear information. You deserve someone in your corner. And here's the promise I want to make to you today. If you keep watching this channel, if you stay engaged with the content we're putting out here at Senior Money USA, we will make sure you are never caught off guard by one of these letters again. We are going to cover every type of Social Security notice, every type of Medicare communication, and every benefit you may be entitled to but haven't claimed yet. Because there are benefits out there, extra help with prescription costs, Medicare savings programs, supplemental security income for those who qualify that go unclaimed every year simply because people don't know they exist or don't know how to apply. We're going to change that one video at a time. Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with one final thought. If you're sitting here watching this and you're worried, if you received a letter recently and it's been sitting on your kitchen table making you anxious, please take action today. Not tomorrow, not next week. Today, pick up that letter, read it through, and make one phone call if you have questions. One phone call could protect your benefits. One phone call could save you from a reduction that doesn't have to happen. You have more power in this situation than you realize, and you have more time to respond than panic might make you feel. But that time does have a limit. So act now while you still have every option available to you. You are not helpless in this. You are informed, and that makes all the difference.